Righto, so we're back in the shed and today we're fitting up a brand spanking new roof rack from San Hima. The guys down at Vic Offroad have sent us that one, so we're going to get it up on the roof. It's going to give us a whole heap more storage for the BT50 max tracks. All that good gear can then go up there. Now the roof racks come fully assembled, so basically it's a matter of fitting its side rails, remove the strips from the roof of the BT50. It's already got built-in nutsers, which makes it super easy to use. This roof rack has its own channel system, which we're going to use then to mount all our accessories. It's also got a light bar already fitted to the front. Eventually what we'll do is we'll get a light force one and we'll chuck that one up in there. So first things first, I've got this weather stripping seal up here that I need to remove. So luckily, or I guess easier for me, is that the BT50 has pre-existing captive nuts in the roof. So it's just a matter of removing this weather seal and then the roof rack will bolt down straight to those existing nuts, which is really handy as opposed to some roof racks where you've got to fit tracks, drill through the roof and all that kind of carry on, because me personally, I hate drilling holes, especially in cars. Now, what I have to do is as I remove this, I've got a trim removal tool that I'll use to peel it up just so I don't damage the paint. I'll peel this off, and as I locate the position of those captive nuts, I'm gonna mark with a pencil on that strip seal. So once I've fitted the roof rack, I can cut the strip seal and then I can stick that back down just so then one, it looks like a cleaner finish, and two, any whistling and stuff like that will be avoided. Okay, so now that our roof is fully prepped and ready, I've unpackaged all our brackets and everything like that. Just gone through, checked all the hardware, make sure everything's there. And I've done a little bit of sorting so I know what's got to go with what. The instructions are a little bit basic, but it is a pretty straightforward fit out given that the roof is already threaded, ready to go. So we've got our brackets, there's a front one and a rear one as well. So they're two different sizes there for the BT50 and the D-Max. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna chuck these brackets up on the roof. I'll leave them loose in the roof just so there's a little bit of play, and then I'm gonna fit the actual sort of mounting system there. So I've just gone through and I've trimmed all the factory weather strip from the roof down to suit the brackets. So the brackets are in, nice and tight, weather strip's been trimmed. I removed the original double-sided tape that was on it and put fresh stuff down that I picked up just to make sure that it is nice and sort of sticky again. Seems to be holding down pretty well. There's a couple of places where it's sort of popping up. I think just because I bent the strip removing it, because it does have like a metal inside, and then that's sort of kinked now. So sort of hoping that, I don't know, it won't come off, I guess is the biggest thing. But realistically, it's just for looks. So if it does come off, you won't be able to see the majority of this on the inside anyway. It'll just be this stuff at the front. Okay, so I was just looking at this, trying to work out the best way that I wanted to get it up on the roof. Originally my plan was to mount the rails and then lift the platform from the tray onto the rails. Because I'm doing it myself, I decided that would be the best way. However, then I thought maybe it's best if I do it the way the instruction says, and that is to mount the rails first. However, I guess then the hardest part is I still don't necessarily know how wide it's got to be. So kind of now thinking again that I'm going to go back to my original plan, get these rails mounted to the roof, and then I can place the platform down nice and safely without risking damaging the roof. Now, as I mentioned before, I am fitting this by myself, so I don't have the assistance that is probably highly recommended to fit something like this and get it up on the roof. Luckily for me, it is a tray back, so it means I can get the rack up on the tray back and then from the tray, lift it up and over onto the rails that are now fitted to the roof. If you had like a tub, especially with a hard cover or a canopy or something like that, I would 100% definitely recommend that you get someone to help you do this. In fact, I would always recommend you get someone to help you do this. However, in this situation, I'm on my own, so it is what it is. I just have to be super careful. I'll put a bit of carpet down in the tray. I'll use some mats and stuff like that just to make sure I don't bang this brand new roof rack up. So the roof rack's all done, all installed. It's a pretty easy install, particularly because the BT50s and the D-Maxes already have those captive threads in the roof. Makes it super easy as opposed to some other cars where you do have to drill, rivet, put nuts in, all that kind of carry on. Too hard basket for me. Nice easy installs is what it's all about. So I'm super happy that the BT does have the threaded nuts in the roof. The roof rack, I must say, does look very clean. I'm a big fan of the way it looks. And then over the next sort of few months to 6 months, something like that, we'll put it through its paces, we'll chuck some gear up there, we'll take it away, and then we'll come back and we'll do a bit of review and see how good the San Hima roof rack from Vic Offroad really is.